Hey, just got the Rhino release for Transformers. I got all 5 sets, and I got them, I think, for around like 70 or so bucks. This is the Rhino version of the original Transformers, is what they labeled it right here. Released around 2002. I could show a DVD menu of some of these, but someone's already done most of that, so probably not sure if I'm gonna do it. And yeah, so if you're wondering why I got this release, well, because I just wanted to get a release of Transformers. Pretty cool. I like the art here and some of it here. And yeah, here are the releases. If you notice that there's tape right here, that's because some of them were very hard to get and some of them had cracks in it. I'm gonna make sure I'm careful with this. There we go. And see right there? There's some tape right there. That came with the disc itself, and I did fix it. Didn't have an issue with it. Most of them are pretty clean. And the art is pretty good. Although, if you know anything about the Rhino releases of this, you know that they are pretty infamous for a reason. Someone made a video about the tragedy of these things, and someone made a comparison of the first season, since this is the season that's mostly affected, because these apparently use pre-broadcast masters. And they aren't really good. I could show you some clips of it, but I don't know how to. Though you can watch them on Hasbro Pulse, since they actually have the Rhino versions of these episodes on here. And the bonus thing, they added new sound effects that were, according to the sound studio who did this, were always in the broadcast. Even though they weren't. Yeah, that's right. They lied about that. Which sucks. Again, only 2 of the discs have cracks in them, but they thankfully aren't that major. I didn't show everything in these because I'm not... This is, of course, the second one, or Season 2, Part 1, since this series was like 49 episodes of Season 2. Of course, had some artwork, which is pretty good. Not going to get all the discs out. Each one has their own different type of disc label. Of course, it shows it all right there. There are the booklets, which I might show, but probably not. And then there's the second one, which includes the same things most of the time, but with less special features for the remainder of Season 2. I have seen the menus on these, and for some reason, I haven't seen these menus get posted on YouTube often. I don't know why. This one also has tape right here, because these things are like... I hate these things. Like, you have to push down on these things to get the discs out. It's pretty dreadful, and I don't like that type of setup. There's a reason why I don't like certain things to get out discs, since they're going to cause scratches or they're going to break. For Season 2, they still have those same sound effects, though they lowered them down for a certain mix because people were getting tired of this release. Then we move on to Season 3, and they mostly learn from their mistakes. For Season 3, as you can see, there's, of course, a Stunticon there, and there's another one, and 3 of the... Okay, there's 3 Stunticons, and there's 3 Combaticons from, like, an episode... 5 Days of Darkness, I'm assuming? And, of course, they have different discs of each. Though for some of these, I can get these out. See? This one doesn't have an issue getting out. And that's good. And the disc art looks pretty good. And they fixed most of the issues for the 3rd release. And for the 4th release, it doesn't have any issues in getting it discs. But the art, look how bad that art is. Look at that. Why does it look like that? And for the 3rd one, they have these pushers instead. Just push the disc out, and then bam! There you go. Pretty good. I also forgot to show something. Let me show it right now. Well, here they are. With each of these 5 releases, there's two animation cells in one, or reproduction animation cells, which are pretty cool. Like really cool collectibles or something. I'm gonna show them all. You can see them. There's one for Rumble, Starscream, and Skywarp. There's Megatron. I like this one. There's Ravage. I hope I didn't mess up that name. There's Devicon or something. I don't know what his name is. I do know who he is though. There's Orion Pax. There's Galvatron. There's Cup. There's Optimus Prime and infected Rodimus. And the last one is Scorponok. So yeah, these are pretty cool, even if they are just like reproduction cells. Of course, the series, the DVDs themselves have some really cool special features. Which again, some of these are pretty cool. And I do recommend getting these if you just want the cells. Though, again, I should mention about the issues with the DVDs, or the episodes themselves, or how they were done. As I mentioned before, this is of the Rhino version, which this one has like a bunch of issues. So like I said, this is a bunch of issues in here. I put them right near the chair, that's funny. See, like look at this. They take up a lot of space, like they're big 5-packs or something. Like there's 5 of them, and they're pretty big, so it's not going to have a lot of room. Which is where another release comes in. Here's the Shout Factory release, which is a release I've had for 6 years at this point. I probably plan on showing all my DVDs, and I probably mentioned it. Of course, all of them are a little slim. And unlike the Rhino releases, Shout Factory fixes most of the issues that I had with the Rhino versions. Of course, with everyone, they fixed a lot of the animation errors for Season 1. They didn't fix that for the other ones, though most of the other ones for Season 2 and 3 were pretty much like that when they were in broadcast, outside of a few things. Of course, this release I've had for a while, and this is more readily available, and for a more cheaper price. And like I said, they're in little slim cases. It's pretty cool to even think that this was even released like that. Pretty crazy. So, my overall thoughts on the Rhino releases, and especially when compared to the later release from Shout Factory, in terms of what you get, I will say it does do one good thing. The packaging is great. The contents you get are pretty cool, especially for the time, since you actually get some reproduction animation cells, even if they're not the actual cells itself, but still, this is pretty cool. And you actually get some solid releases. Unfortunately, what brings it down is the quality of it. The animation is pretty good for most of the time, but the sound effects kind of ruin out. And for Season 1, it's bogged down by the fact that they used really bad transfers. Or masters, I mean. Because the masters in this version are not good. In fact, they have so many issues. Someone even made a video about comparing it. And it's pretty crazy. So because of that, I think in terms of what I give it a grade for, I give it probably either a B- or a C+. It's pretty alright, and I do think it's a solid collection, but in my opinion, it's not the best release. While Shout Factory doesn't have a lot of content into it, it's much smaller, you can fit more stuff in here, and the Season 1 episodes are much better. Plus, they don't have those stupid sound effects. While it doesn't have much, it sacrifices it for the quality of the show, which, hey, that's something I definitely approve of. So overall, most of the time, you're better off just be getting the Shout release. Though if you do want to own part of Transformers history, the Rhino releases are pretty good, and they are packed with content, even if the cartoon transfers aren't, not good. And with that, I will see you later. Bye. for a bit because it was on a 15. Well, it's a 10-minute mark. Okay, that's pretty blatant. Okay, bye for real.